What's up, fight fans? In today's video, Conor McGregor revealed why he risked a staggering $500,000 on Michael Chandler to defeat Paddy Pimblett, and now even guys like Ronaldo Moano are admitting Paddy's no joke. But there are still big questions about who he'll face next.
Elbows through the guard from Paddy. Chandler's covering up. Yes, lad! Get him there, him, lad!
That's the best performance of Paddy Pimblett's career by a country mile.
And Kamaru Usman has his own ideas on what matchups the UFC needs to make right now. Meanwhile, Colby Covington says Paddy will never touch a title shot. Michael Chandler shared an emotional post after his loss at UFC 314.
This is what I wanted. This is what I needed. God.
Volkanovski is back on the throne, and Arman Tsarukyan just gave fans a powerful message. So without further ado, let's get started. Paddy Pimblett just did what many thought he couldn't. He stopped Michael Chandler in dominant fashion at UFC 314, and now that he's finished a dangerous guy like Chandler, it's time to start giving him real credit. Even Renato Mo, who once called Paddy easy money, tweeted after the fight, "Paddy is not easy money." Of course, the conversation shifts, but there are still big questions about who he'll face next, and how the UFC plans to handle the increasingly stacked and unpredictable 155lb division. But before Dana White could even...
Listen, if they do Charles Oliveira against Ilia Topuria, if Islam moves up to 170, all I'm trying to say is take that Justin Gaethje fight. This version of Paddy Pimblett beats Justin Gaethje.
I know.
Does anyone disagree? Take that Gaethje fight and stamp your ticket to a title shot.
Paddy's definitely ready for a title shot. Sure, the competition will only get tougher from here, but Pimblett has shown he can hang with the best, plus with his flashy trash talk. He's always entertaining to watch, but Colby Covington is dead certain Pimblett will never even sniff a title shot, let alone win the belt.
He needs to stop running my name through his mouth. Just stay relevant, because he's just using me to stay relevant, because he's never accomplished anything. He's never going to get to a title fight. He's never going to win a title, period. He's an irrelevant bum. So when he starts cutting all that weight and cutting chromosomes, and he wants to come to a real man's weight class and fight a real man, he can get his ass whooped. So he needs to keep my name out of his mouth, otherwise he's going to end up with my foot in his ass. And that's a fact.
Former champs Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo recently broke down the fights the UFC should make at 155 lbs.
He mentioned Dustin, he mentioned Gaethje, he mentioned Arman, but the fight that would really make sense. Can I get a drum roll? Ilia Topuria. These guys had beef back in the day. The storyline is there, bro. They're both stars in the UFC. If I'm the UFC, I'm booking Justin Gaethje versus Islam, and then I think you do Ilia Topuria on that fight. Whoever comes out of top gets the next title shot.
You're absolutely right, Henry. If the UFC just like, hey, you know what, let's make the biggest fight we can in that division, because Paddy the Baddy is up there as far as fame right now in that division. I like it, Henry.
So you prefer the Ilia fight?
I like the Ilia fight, because if Justin Gaethje's fighting for the title, Dustin wants a retirement fight, Arman and Charles Oliveira are gonna do that again, hey, you hit the nail on the head. Guess what? Winner is ultra popular now and ready to challenge for that title.
UFC newcomer Aaron Pico believes a Paddy Pimblett versus Ilia Topuria matchup would be more exciting than a potential Islam Makhachev.
Paddy fight, last night. I want to see Paddy versus Ilia more than I want to see Topuria versus Islam now.
Wow, why? What is it about that performance?
I don't know. I think Paddy's style is, I mean, his character, and it was just fun. And then they have some bad blood. I think there was some things that happened in the hotel, I don't know, maybe a year ago, and I think that would be a fun fight. I think Paddy would, that would be, a lot of fans would love to see that. They would be more excited. I think they'd be more excited with Paddy versus Ilia than Ilia versus than Islam. I don't know. I don't know if that fight's gonna happen, but I know if he wants to come up to 155, what better fight to make Paddy versus Ilia?
I think he beat Islam Makhachev. No, I do not think. But you gotta look, Paddy's only 30 years old, Islam's 33. As time goes on, when Paddy's 33, Islam's gonna be 36. Do you think Islam's gonna still be fighting in mixed martial arts? if he goes 3 more years of whooping everybody's ass? The answer is probably no. So you give Paddy enough time to keep on working his way up the ladder and getting better. He's 30 right now. Give him 3 more years, the division's going to change.
That's the best performance of Paddy Pimblett's career by a country mile. He has proven to be much better than I thought he would be. He looked fantastic tonight. Good for him. Dude, like I said, I don't give a shit who wins as long as it's the rightful guy. The person who looked better, who didn't get screwed by the judges, who just deserved to win on that night. It's Paddy. It's Paddy. It's Paddy.
Paddy dominated him. Dominated him. That's a win for Chandler. He likes being dominated by other men. Domination. Get him out of the rankings. Him and his Jefferson County javelins. Get him out the rankings. Get him out the rankings.
Recently, Arman Tsarukyan addressed fans' questions about his next fight. In a social media post, many people ask when my next fight is. I am calm. I am training, focusing, and waiting for my moment. Sports are not always about fairness, but I believe that if you work, do not give up and stay true to yourself, everything will come. Conor McGregor revealed why he risked a staggering $500,000 on Michael Chandler to defeat Paddy Pimblett, and his explanation was pure. McGregor admitted part of him suspected Pimblett might prevail. He posted Chandler, "You mother rest up. Fair play my history with Mike. And the KO odds made me take the risk, but my head was saying, Paddy, he's improving. Still got a way to go though. What's 500,000 to an MG like me? Remind me more than your purse. I'll get it back, actually. I just did following."
Or just consider retirement. That's a lot of beatings, man. You know, I think Chandler could have been the best in the world. And I even told this to him. He's too much of a crowd pleaser, and that has really bit him in the ass. You know, you guys remember like Mike Perry too. Like Mike Perry was a crowd pleaser too, and you know, it's just only a certain time before the UFC just says, "Hey, man, thank you for pleasing us, but we gotta move on." And I feel like Chandler, they're probably gonna, at this point, maybe the UFC might give him a younger guy.
Michael Chandler shared an emotional post after his loss at UFC 314. In the photo, he's holding his son's tiny hand with a powerful caption, "Never out of the fight." This picture sums it all up. As long as I've got these heartbeats and hands to hold, I've already won, so listen up, fam. If you're watching this, drop some words of encouragement for Chandler in the comments. This guy is a true warrior. Every time he steps into the octagon, it's all-out war. He doesn't play it safe. He doesn't coast, he fights with heart. And he leaves it all in there, every single time, win or lose. You've got to respect that much respect. Mike, see you back soon after UFC 314. Diego Lopez reached out to Alexander Volkanovski with a classy message. "Congrats, Alex, and thank you for this fight." Volkanovski responded, "You're an incredible fighter, and an even better person. Brother, nothing but respect. Wish you all the best." Alexander Volkanovski opened up with some emotional words after taking back his featherweight crown.
Because when you get yourself back out, I guarantee you're going to be twice the person you were than when you were down there. So you can literally grow so much just because of that adversity. So that's what I mean by, you know, it's a privilege. You know, you can treat it, your mindset can treat it as a privilege. If you can treat it as a privilege and have that mindset when you are going through adversity, I guarantee you that you are going to be a resilient, durable person who can accomplish so much because you won't shy away from a challenge. You won't shy away from adversity. You'll try and get through it and make something happen, so they're going to make you stronger.
Honestly, it was an inspiring fight because he's obviously still the best featherweight to do it.
Yep.
In my opinion. And I think to fight that fight against a guy that has such momentum and aggressiveness and power behind his hands.
Yeah.
After 2 knockout losses, you know, and to hold it together for that fight, to push out the doubts, to do what he did, and to walk away with the strap, it's super remarkable.
Yeah.
Super outstanding.
A video has surfaced online showing Diego Lopez's hometown neighborhood packed into the streets to watch his fight against Volkanovski. Volkanovski's coach, Joe Lopez, believes Movsar Evloev is the only fighter who truly deserves a shot at the title.
What do you think, man? Like, are you excited about the potential of him being next? There are some fans out there that say, look, it's maybe not the most exciting fight, but he's done so much in the division, he kind of deserves his crack at the belt.
Well, yeah, realistically, he does deserve it, but, you know, there was no talk of him at all at the presser. There was no real talk of him at all. Everyone was talking about Yair and everybody else except him, you know, and yeah, it's sort of a bit sad that I guess he's not a very exciting, and he doesn't bring much to the table, but he's unbeaten and he's on a run. If anyone deserves a shot, it's actually him, you know, but you know, it's up to the powers that be. You know, we were supposed to get that shot with Ilya and they gave it to Max, so you just never know how or what the powers above us are going to tell us, you know, who we've got to fight.
Khamzat Chimaev just got the MMA world buzzing with 2 simple words. Good news, that's all he posted, but for fans who've been waiting months to hear something about his next fight, it was enough to light up the internet. No name, no date, no opponent. Just a hint, and coming from Chimaev, that usually means something is brewing behind the scenes. It's been a while since we last saw Chimaev in action injuries, visa issues, and behind the scenes, complications have kept him out of the cage. But now it looks like we might finally be getting some movement. The big question, who's the opponent? Will it be middleweight champ Dricus? If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.